My ex-wife left me for her affair partner. 10 years later, she returns and asking me to take her back in my life. Posted by Reddit user ThrowRA32146.
Me, my ex-wife, let's call her X, my neighbor, affair partner, my neighbor's wife, let's call her M. Me and my wife married in 2009. We had our baby in 2010. In November 2010, while she was asleep, a message popped on her phone and was a flirty message. I checked on her phone and it was from our neighbor. I went through every single message, which included sexting, sharing nudes, and even had planned meetups at hotels. This was going on from the first week into our marriage. I felt like my world crumbled in front of me. I took screenshots of every message and saved it on my phone. The next day, I contacted M and let her know about the affair. They were married for 4 years and had their first baby almost the exact same time as we had ours. I confronted my wife and told her that I am going to give her divorce. She started crying and everything else, but I did not consider it. I also did paternity test on our son because the affair timeline was the same as conception date. After 2 days, when I come home from work, our baby was crying in our bed and X was nowhere to be seen. Then I found a letter of her saying that she did not love me and she had left with affair partner and to not contact them. I knew this was coming, but I didn't believe that a mother can leave her child alone. He was about 6 months at the time and can run off with her lover. I then went to M's house. She had received the same letter by her husband. I felt sorry for her as she was going through postpartum depression, had her baby just a few months ago, and was left alone. Also, paternity test result came back and he's my son. I tried to contact X family, but they also didn't know where she was and was shocked by her behavior. Her father even said that if she ever came back, she would not be allowed to enter their house. They basically disowned her. M was very supportive. She began coming to my home to watch the kids and even breastfed both of them, hers and mine. As time passed, we were like family. My son called her mom and had known her only as mom. We also decided to go on dates. We engaged a year later and got married in 2013. We had our first child in 2015. We often discussed things about our exes and how we were often disrespected by them. We were a happy family. In 2018, when my son accidentally saw a picture of my ex, picture after birth, so it included X, me, and him, so we decided to tell him that his birth mother X had died in car accident years ago and M took care of him since he was 6 months old. Fast forward to 2 days ago, I received an anonymous email. I opened it and it read, "I want to see my son and want my family back. We are not divorced yet." I knew it was X. I showed this to M started freaking out and asked me if I would take her back. I calmed her down and told her that she was an ugly past and I would never leave you. I would never take her back. Now I am confused what to do. I will definitely not take her back, but should I let her meet my son or not? Should I take my son's opportunity to have connection with his birth mother?
I can't believe the fucking audacity of your ex-wife, OP. She abandoned a 6-month-old baby alone in your house so that she could elope with her affair partner. That woman is a real piece of shit. Forget the fact that she cheated on you. Leaving the baby alone in the house is far, far worse. She could have possibly killed him. That alone is enough reason to never, ever let that woman anywhere near your son. She was never a mother. She's just a psychopath. Also, there's a few things I wanted to point out. Number 1, telling your son that his biological mother died is wrong. That's just so wrong. You should never have done that, OP. Your son, and likely your other kids, will need therapy, or at the very least, you should consult a psychologist to get advice regarding how to tell them the truth. The more you lie, the likelier he is to eventually go live with her and believe whatever ridiculous excuse that she gives him. I wouldn't wait too long to tell your son that his mother is a cheating piece of shit of a human being that almost killed him. Because I honestly think your ex would try to contact him and manipulate the truth to make you look like the bad guy. This was a real bad move on your part, OP. This lie that you told your son has the potential to ruin your relationship with him. Number 2, assuming that you do have an actual judgment from the court that gives you full custody, You can ignore her communications entirely, or maybe you can get a lawyer to send her a letter saying visitation is not in the child's best interest. She did abandon him as a baby after all. You can then either wait for her to file in court asking for visitation rights, or you can proactively attempt to have her parental rights terminated, perhaps also having his actual mother, M, to adopt him. Child support doesn't usually have an impact on custody, but a reminder that she has not paid child support for over 10 years and that there are still many years left where it should be due, it can really help you. However, only communicate with her through a lawyer. Never respond to her directly. You might not be able to prevent visitations from happening because family courts is very biased against men. That's just a fact. At the very least, ask for a very slow progression with short visits, supervised by a social worker or a psychologist. Now, let's listen to OP's update.
Thank you for such a response. A lot has happened since the last time. Also, I didn't want to post the update as many people in comments thought it as fake, but till this day, I am getting messages for an update, so I decided to update you all. So, let's start by saying that we didn't require court or lawyer. Some of you claimed that she would have no parental rights over my son, as she had abandoned us years ago. To confirm the claim, I contacted my friend, who is a lawyer, and confirmed that she could face heavy fines, termination of parental rights, and jail. I told him about the time period of abandonment and asked what were the chances of winning in my case. He told me that if a parent fails to physically contact a child for over a year, 99% he or she is given termination of parental rights. I had a sigh of relief after listening those words. I also joined therapy with my son so that I can tell him the truth about his biological mother. As I wanted to find out that why she contacted me after 10 years, I messaged her father, who is still a best friend of mine and gives me some good advice, whether X contacted her family or not. Turns out that she had contacted her sister for money from time to time for 10 years, but now her sister is not willing to help her as she was asking a bit more money. I asked him about her conditions and whether introducing her to my son would be good idea or not. He answered by saying she just has a minimum wage job and lives in small apartment with 3 roommates. By listening to him saying this, I felt bad for her, but she earned it. He said that she would have a bad influence on our son, so it's better not to introduce him to X. Next, I called her sister and asked her what were their conversations like in past 10 years. She told me everything. How X contacted her only for money, because after paying rent, she had no money left for groceries and other utilities. X never asked about my son, but only for money. I asked her about the relationship between X and affair partner, to which she replied, he is in prison for sexual assault since 2015. I don't know why, but I felt happy upon hearing this news. I asked her whether X knows about the divorce or not. She said X has no idea about the divorce and she still think that we are legally married. I asked her to tell X about everything, divorce, child custody, my new family, and that she has no right over my son. I told everything to M, and she was a bit surprised by X's behavior. She never thought that a mother can be so careless towards her own child. She was shocked to hear the news about affair partner. It's been 30 days and X has not contacted us. Family counseling is going great, and we have decided to legally adopt one another's kids. I don't think X will contact us ever again, as her sister might have told her about her position in court legally, and that she would just waste money by hiring an attorney.
Well, OP, based on what you wrote about your ex, I guess she really is just looking out for herself, looking for a place to stay, looking for someone to pick up her pathetic life. She's so desperate that she was willing to contact you, one of the 2 people she hurt the most. It's great that you contacted a lawyer. Never let that woman anywhere near your family, OP. She will burn it down to the ground, just like what she did before. Also, I'm glad that you've done your research by contacting everyone that knows your ex to understand what's going on with her. It basically confirmed that she just wants the house and the comfy life that you gave her before she cheated on you and abandoned her son. She abandoned her family to be with a sex offender of all people. What? Now she has a crappy job, lives in a crappy apartment, and living a crappy life. Exactly what she deserves. Karma at its best. It sounds like you have everything under control, OP. You have a wonderful family. Please don't ruin it by introducing your ex. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to Patson to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.